My name is Pastor Tommy Clark. I am the senior pastor at West Nashville, Cumberland Presbyterian Church. Um, in regard to homosexuality, growing up, I came from a very traditional, conservative tradition, and I was taught that it was a sin. I was taught that people from that community weren't welcome in the church, and I was taught that. That was an abomination, and it's clear in the Bible that this is what it says, and I kind of built my beliefs around that, and my faith around that as a child. But as I grew up, graduated from high school, and kind of got out into the world, and I started to meet people and make friends and have relationships with people from the LGBTQ community. Um, Something in me started to change, and I think a huge part of that was listening to people and hearing people's stories and learning about their relationship stories and getting to know them and truly wanting to see them and see who they are as an individual, as a human. And that's what taught me that these people, the people from this community, they're just like I am. They love just like I do. They are people, they are like me, and maybe their preferences are a little bit different, or my preferences rather are a little bit different from theirs. That doesn't make them any different than I am. You know, that's who they are, and if I started to believe that, you know, this is the way that God taught them how to love. This is the way that God taught them how to love, and I wasn't comfortable with telling them that they can't love the way that God taught them how to love. So I had these feelings, but I knew that my tradition that I came from, that conservative tradition that I came from, kind of clashed with that. There was quite a contrast, and I really didn't know what to do with that. And I struggled with it for several years. For many years, I struggled with it. When I was in my mid 20s, I had a call into ministry, and I kind of had a path to go into ministry. And so I went to college, got my undergrad, and then started into seminary. And it was while I was in seminary that some of those assumptions that I started to have about the LGBTQ community really came into light, because I started to learn how to study those and explore those passages in the Bible that have created so much animosity with homosexuality. And learning how to read the Bible was a big changer for me. Um, Learning about the context of the Bible, learning about what the Bible or where the Bible was born out of, or how it was written, why it was written, the authors that wrote the Bible, where they were in their lives while they were writing the Bible, the true context of it, and to really doing research and studying that um, helped me wrestle with those issues behind homosexuality. And things were coming into light. And I remember having this epiphany and thinking to myself, I was wrong. You know, as a child, that tradition I came from, that conservative tradition I came from, um, it was wrong. It messed up. I mean, and it's not that it was evil in any way. It was a tradition that came from years and years ago. That's been around for a long time. But I had that feeling that it was wrong, and so I wanted to change, and um, I wanted to teach people what I had learned about it. And what really changed me was, and I can remember just really hitting this and just wanting to get up and dance when I read this story in Acts 10 with Peter meeting Cornelius, and in Acts 10:34, Peter saying, "I'm starting to see that God shows no partiality from one group of people to the other." And reading that story, learning more about that story and that statement was just groundbreaking for me, and it solidified those feelings that I was having, um, and really, you know, the things that I was wrestling with on homosexuality, I really stopped wrestling with them because it was at that moment that I knew. I knew that um, I was wrong to ever doubt um, welcoming my friends and neighbors from the LGBT community into the church. And it was at that time that I wanted to advocate for them. I wanted to support them. Whatever it is that I have to do, I want to, yeah, I want to help. I want to be part of that community. And I want to teach people what I have learned about those biblical passages that have created so much animosity for that community. And yeah, I want to be an advocate for my friends and neighbors, and I want them to feel welcome in the church. I want them to feel welcome in a place where they can help develop their faith and they can love who God taught them to love, and they can be who God created them to be. So yeah, that's kind of my story, and that's why or how I have arrived at where I am.